Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff, DiVeronica and Steve Bradley. And Steve, I keep saying it's about to be my favorite time of the year, tournament basketball time. And our guests today played what you're calling probably the Section 5 game of the year. A triple overtime victory of the LeRoy Watkin Knights, 81-74 over Geneseo in 3 overtimes on Saturday, February 11th. And we're going to call it our Pittsford Pub Game of the Week, Steve. That's a slam dunk, isn't it?
It is. No doubt about it. 2 buzzer beaters, 8-0 run to close the game for LeRoy. And I would think the kind of game that you want to have going into sectionals to build momentum on. And it's Coach Matt Weiman joining us. Andrew Pocock is the man in the middle. He hit one of those buzzer beaters. And Merritt Holly, who had a great week himself, hit the first buzzer beater and also scored his 1,000th career point last week. So great time to have the Knights on.
So before we get into the logistics of the plays, Coach, let me start with you. Are you getting NBA and college offers now for the plays you drew up to send these games? First, there was a regulation buzzer beater by Merritt, and then another one at the end of the second overtime by Andrew. To send it to the third. So, are you getting any offers from big time schools or what?
Nothing new under the sun. I stole a couple of those plays from some college programs over the years. So we had worked on them a little bit. Then you just draw it up to refresh the guy's memory, and they went out and somehow executed both of them. So it's pretty amazing.
So Jeff, the Knights are 11-9. Their regular season is over, and their regular season finale. Let's go right to 1.5 seconds left in regulation. Geneseo makes a free throw to go up by 3 points. Andrew inbounds the ball, and then what happened, Andrew?
I just chucked the ball down to Merritt, and he caught it as high as he could, and then he's off one leg, faded away into the bench, and banked it off for a 3 to tie the game.
He makes it sound.
It was a 28-foot bank shot, Jeff, from right at the hash on the side of the court. Merritt, if you were in the NFL, it wouldn't have been a catch because you only got 1 foot down. But yeah, take us through it from your perspective.
Well, it was a great pass by Pocock. It was just a heck of a pass. It couldn't have been perfect. Got it off in the time and went in. So we got the win. So that was the most important part. So,
but Andrew threw the ball. I mean, you threw the ball a good 65, 70 feet in the air, and you hit your target. And was it designed to go that far close to the sideline, or was it supposed to be more in the middle of the court? I mean, how did that all work out? It looked like, in a way, you used the sideline as a way to not have another defender on your side. But where was it supposed to go? But one of you guys take that question.
Yeah, towards the sideline, but not that close. I think Merritt, after he released the ball, he fell on one of our assistant coaches' laps. Kind of sat on his lap and watch it went in. But that's a good point. I kind of like that. You use that sideline there as another. You can't have the defender there, right? So you kind of use that to keep another defender out. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll move it over a little bit, like you guys said. But no, it's kind of supposed to start in the middle and then just slowly, kind of gradually go towards the right side of the floor there.
All right, before we move on to the second, and that one's called. And Steve, I talked before you were away. That one's called Valpo, and any basketball fan knows that's about Valparaiso and a similar play with Bryce Drew. Right, Steve? Bryce Drew, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. They got the win in the NCAA tournament, one of the most famous shots in March Madness.
But before we go to the first overtime and then second here, Merritt had 41 points, by the way. That's pretty good. 14 boards, 2 blocks, 2 assists. Andrew, you had 15, 7, and 8. Not bad. Ethan Bennett with Geneseo. Props to Geneseo, too, because remember, it took 2 to tango here. They made enough big plays, too, right, Coach, to get this thing all the way to the third overtime. So how impressed were you with the way they played?
Absolutely. They got a great team, 4 outstanding starting seniors, and then some other key pieces that help them too. But Coach Hepler does a great job with them. They made some big time shots. These 2 shots were huge, but if you go back and watch, if you're any basketball fan, you get a chance to watch that game. The back and forth, the drama with stealing inbounds passes. They stole a couple inbounds passes for us. We next year threw it back, made a 3, made another 3. They made some absolutely clutch shots, and then we happened to just hit the 2 at the buzzer. So there was a ton of drama. you hate to see anybody lose that game because everybody left it out. Kids played so hard on both teams. Triple overtime, they were exhausted, and everybody's still making shots on both teams throughout, all the overtime. So they had it going too. We just were fortunate to get it at the end.
Speaking of making shots, Merritt, how many times have you run that play in practice? And like, if you run it 10 times, how many times does it work like it did on Saturday?
Oh, we ran it a few times, but I mean, I don't think I could ever hit that shot again in my life, if I'm being honest. It was just a 1 in a million, I mean, it was just it's funny to say this, but when I shot it, I actually like turned over a little bit and it was like, "Oh, coach, that's off." To like one of the coaches that I landed into, and then I looked back and it went in, and we just went nuts, and the rest was history. So it was great.
So you're going to ruin my plan, though. I was going to ask you to go and stay after practice today and run it as many times as it took to get it and find out what the number was. And never say never, young man. You never know.
Andrew, what's it been the last couple of days since this took place? I was involved in a triple overtime game in high school, and it to me it felt like almost like a dream. We won the game, obviously, but what's it been like for a couple of days? We're a couple of days removed from this happening. What's it been like for you guys?
I think it's like very overwhelming. Like I don't think like going into that game that we thought that was going to happen. Like going to 3 overtimes, we played basically 7 quarters, which is pretty great, like pretty crazy.
And I can tell you that I remember this distinctly about the game I played in. There was no shot clock, so we could stall, and we were playing against a better team, so we did stall. And I remember, I think the game finished 55-53, and I'm pretty sure it went into overtime at 49 apiece. So there were only 6 points scored by the winning team, by us, over the next 3, like one basket. We held the ball. So, and you totally different, right? You went to overtime at 54 apiece, and the final score was 81-74. So, as Coach was saying, you guys went up and down. Were you getting fatigued? Anybody cramping up? What was that like going into it? And then we'll shift to that second overtime, Steve. But what was that like for you guys?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, it was tiring. No doubt about it. I mean, I give respect to Geneseo. I mean, those guys battled. Bennett, number 14 for them, scored 29 points. I think he was going crazy at the end. I give respect to him. Yeah, it was tiring game.
So we're going to go to buzzer beater number 2, Jeff?
Let's do it.
What was this play called, Andrew?
Villanova,
because it reminds everybody of Jalen Brunson against North Carolina, right? So,
right.
Just to set the stage, probably about 5-6 seconds left at the end. You come out of a timeout. They've got a full court press on, and you inbound. I look like Merritt went to set a screen, and take us through it, Andrew.
Now you're down 2, right? Down 2.
Down 2. 5 seconds left, I believe.
I passed our point guard, and I was told straight out of the timeout, just pass it and book it down the court. And I just went down the court, and the ball got to me, and I just threw it up and just went in.
Did it feel good when you released it?
Yeah, we were all confused though too, because we didn't know if it was a 3 or a 2, so we didn't know if we won or we tied.
So I had that Kevin Durant against the Bucks feel, right? Where it's
Yeah.
it's 2 or 3. Is it over? We still going? Coach, you called it a foot on the line too. What did you see in the execution of your team as that play unfolded?
They executed it perfectly. Merritt came off. They kind of had a guy face guarding him, doubling him. We were able to get it to one of the screeners coming back, our point guard, coming back to the ball after Merritt came off him. So he's really fast. Maverick McKenzie, good ball handler. And he was able to get the ball up the court. And then we just told Andrew out of the timeout, you got to be on a dead sprint. We only 5 seconds left. We can't be lumbering up the court. So Mav was able to just kind of look over his shoulder, saw Andrew spot up, and I think maybe they had a couple of guys on Merritt, and Andrew was just open and didn't hesitate and stuck it. And like he said, I thought he won the game. There were 3 lines on the courts, so I just after when the ref signaling two. So I said to the ref, I said, "What were you looking at the right line?" Making sure he wasn't looking at the men's college or the women's college. So there was a black line and then a white line and a black line. I think I said, "What black?" He said, "No, it was the black line." I said, "Which black? Was it the correct black line?" He said, "Yeah, it was." And then everybody else in the stands, his toe was on the line. They thought so.
How long did that take to sort out?
with the toe on the line.
Yeah.
Not long. The one official pointed just like that too, and the other one was sprinting, coming opposite way. Coming towards the scorer's table, going 2-2-2.
Okay, so there was no like we're huddling up and trying to figure this thing out.
No.
Okay, you knew right away. Okay.
Yes.
So there was only a fleeting second that you thought you won the game, because if they chatted for like 20, 30 seconds, you guys are thinking we won the game. Your emotions start to move in a direction you don't want them to go if you got to keep playing. That being said, what did you say going into the third overtime? You guys had a chance to win it there. Well, I guess, Coach, what did you say to keep these guys kind of in the moment?
They showed a lot of resolve because we were up. I think we kept getting leads, and then Geneseo just kept making. We'd be up 6 or 4, and then they get a steal and hit a big time 3, or just make some really good passes and work our defense. And we could never put them away. At one point, we were up 1. We missed a foul shot, and it went long. And Merritt ran to get it, and he had it. And I'm thinking, if he just holds on to it, they foul. There's like 15 seconds left. They got to foul him, and he stumbled, and the ball went out of bounds. And they came down, and they made some clutch. They drew up some clutch plays. Coach Hepler out of the timeouts there to get their studs the ball and finish. And then so we kept thinking we were going to win, and then we thought we were going to lose. And these guys hit a buzzer beater, but we did have a chance when the game was tied for you to tip it in with .2. Yeah. It was, another time. So I felt like the guys coming off the bench, were. Aside from those 2 shots, they felt like they had won the game several times, and then probably thought they lost it. So the emotions were everywhere, and you just really had to get them. Okay, it's another 4 minutes here. The score is still tied. All right, you just got to go out and try your best and give it all you got. So
reminds me of the Syracuse 6 overtime game, and just all the chances, and then keep going on and on and on. Let's take a quick break. Come back, talk a little more about what you have moving forward. Right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.
The best 3 things here at McQuaid are definitely the sports, the brotherhood, and the service to community. I think that's a really big, important thing that McQuaid stresses, which is part of creating a better and great man. You definitely feel a connection with your fellow students here. It's being all guys school. You're able to relate to each other on a personal level, and everyone's very welcoming here with open arms and willing to be your friend.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
You don't choose to get hurt at work, but you can choose the workers' comp attorneys at Connors and Ferris to fight for your money and medical benefits you deserve.
With over 20 years of industry experience, we will give your case our undivided attention so that you and your family can focus on your recovery.
So call Connors and Ferris, the workers' comp attorneys dedicated to fighting for injured workers' rights.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
Have you visited Roberts Wesleyan University yet? We were voted the Rochester Business Journal Best Undergraduate Program in 2022 by their readers. At Roberts, you'll find an academically inspiring environment led by supportive, high-quality professors. Discovery Days are scheduled for January 16th, February 20th, March 8th, and April 14th. Schedule a virtual visit or an individual visit. Our Saturday visits are February 11th, March 4th, and April 1st. Learn about what you may want to pursue to shape your future forward. Schedule a visit at roberts.edu/visit.
Hi, this is Jeff DiVeronica. I'd like to tell you about my friends from Doyle Security. We lost my father-in-law a few years ago, and that meant my mother-in-law was going to be alone in her house. One of my first calls was to Doyle. Doyle has an award-winning burglary detection system and that gave her peace of mind again. It gave her comfort. These days, you can't put a price tag on that. Whether it's for your family or yourself, at any stage of your life, Doyle is there for you. For seniors, Doyle offers a personally enabled GPS emergency response system. They have a full array of smart systems, including fire and carbon monoxide detection, security cameras, and more for your home or business. More than 35,000 families and businesses rely on Doyle every day and every night. Family owned and operated for more than 100 years, you don't have that kind of staying power unless you're doing something right. To learn more, call 1-866-GO-DOYLE or visit godoyle.com.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff DiVeronica and Steve Bradley talking about a Pittsford Pub Game of the Week, potentially the Section 5 Game of the Year. I know there's going to be a lot of great action Section 5 tournament, but it was a triple overtime thriller. It was actually at SUNY Geneseo, LeRoy 81, Geneseo 74. And Steve, we didn't touch upon this, but the Knights really pulled away down the stretch of the third overtime. I'll talk about show and resolve. Like you said, they scored the last 8 points of the game.
Right.
So I don't know, Coach. Coach Weiman, did you feel like maybe that Geneseo did run out of gas, or you all just started executing, making the plays?
They had one of their best players foul out, so that was a disadvantage for them. I think it was right at the end in the last overtime, right at the beginning of the final overtime. And he's been great all year, and he's got good size, 6'2", 6'3". Ryan Whitney is his name. Really good player. So we thought we had an advantage there, especially because he plays so good on the boards and down low that maybe we could get Merritt the ball, or if he gets triple team, he can kick it out and hit a shooters, and that's what our guys were able to do. Just knock down some shots too. So yeah.
Merritt, I'm going to focus on that 48 hours for you. Because that Thursday night at Geneseo, you needed 15 points to get your 1,000th career point. Coach Freeze and his crew made you work your tail off to get 16, and you got it. Friday night, I heard there might have been kind of a special dinner at a really cool place, and then Saturday. So what was that 48 hours like for you and your family? Obviously, your dad was a player in Pavilion and in high school, and your grandfather, I don't know if you know this or not, when I was growing up, they used to tell stories about how your grandfather, when he was taking shooting practice, he didn't count it unless it swished. So basketball's been in your family for a long time.
Yeah, no doubt. It was a great week. I like to give all my credit to my team too. I mean, those 1,000th point couldn't come personally. I don't think it's a personal goal. I think it's a team goal. These guys give me the ball when I'm open, and coach writes up the great plays to get me open. So I really appreciate that. So it was a great week. A good way to end it out on the buzzer beater and a win and triple overtime. One of the best games I think of this year. So
never forget
so
it.
You went to Red Oyster though. What'd you get for dinner on Friday? That's the big question.
I went with the Friday special, the fish fry.
Oh, you didn't get the prime rib?
No.
Oh man.
Kind of a picky eater.
Yeah.
25 points per game. You're 6'5". You're a junior. Andrew, you're a senior. This is it, right? So has it hit you yet that the next game could be your last? And you guys got a couple more weeks to get ready, but has it hit you yet?
I don't think so. I don't think it is going to be our last game though. I think we have what it takes to go all the way. We just got to execute.
Well, Steve, your terrific notes. The only Section 5 title in LeRoy history in boys basketball is 2003. So we're looking at a nice round number of 20 years, fellas. Is that something, Merritt, you guys have talked about? That would be cool. And the 20-year drought this year?
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's definitely it's the goal for every team, I think. it would definitely be special this year with this group of guys. I mean, we hit a lot of adversity throughout the year, and I think it just make the icing on the cake. So.
And Coach Weiman is a 2002 graduate, so he just missed at the end of his high school career. Coach, I'm sure some of your teammates from that team might remind you, right, that they got the patch and you didn't. But what as you look at this B2 bracket, how does it shape up, and where does your team fit into the whole scheme of things?
Yeah, they back to 20 years ago, they just needed me to graduate before they have a better team. So then they went and got it. Yeah, so it's interesting. We're kind of on the cutoff with C and B. I think we're one of the smallest Bs usually every year, us with Wellsville. But we feel like we can compete in that bracket. Hornell's the 1 seed right now, and they beat us 69-52, so pretty convincing. We were tied with them at halftime down there, and then they made some great adjustments. They got a great team. So we feel like, we just got to get better over the course of the next couple of weeks here to be able to compete, with them. And Dansville beat us by 7 down there, and we haven't played Wellsville. Haverling's playing well right now. They've gone on a little run. World of Inquiry, they beat us by 5 in a 4-5 game 2 years ago. So there's a lot of good teams. Attica's got a lot of talent. And then some of the, you never know, with like Miners, they beat us in the semis last year. They play a tough schedule with Penn Yan there, playing up with those big Bs. They're playing, Waterloo and Geneva all year. So they have a very difficult schedule. So really anybody that can get hot at the right time. There's a lot of talent out there in our bracket, but we're fortunate to have a bye at this point. We'll just have to see who we play here. Take it one game at a time after all 3 of these scrimmages.
And by the way, Geneseo had beaten you before, pretty good actually, and by 13 points. So you came back and you avenged that one. So watch out, Dansville. I guess if you meet up again, but you have 2 weeks off, which is probably, it kind of stinks to a degree, I would think, for many reasons. But I remember in my high school day, like the next game after the triple overtime win, the gym was packed. Like people wanted to see what this team was about. They know what you're about. Coach, how did this big layoff come? I mean, you don't have a game this week. So why is there such a big layoff, and what are you going to do to try to keep these guys sharp?
Right. So we were originally supposed to play this week. Early in the season, we had a game scheduled for a non-league, because we were one of the few teams in our league that you got to buy this week. So we had a non-league scheduled. That one got canceled, so we had to fill it with another team they couldn't play this week. So we played them earlier in the season. So we knew this gap was going to be here. We didn't know if we were going to get a bye, so we didn't know it'd be that much of a gap. But now that it is a gap, Livonia has off this week too, so we'll scrimmage them tomorrow, and then we have another scrimmage. So our schedule is Tuesday scrimmage, this coming Saturday scrimmage, and then the following Tuesday we'll scrimmage again, just to try to keep the guys sharp. They get sick of hearing my voice, I'm sure. So let them have a little fun running around with some other players to go against instead of themselves. So I hope it's okay. We definitely need to sharpen our toolkit a little bit, but these guys are playing their best right now at the right time. So we just got to fine tune some things, and then it'll be good to see it on the scrimmage, because I think as hard as you want them to play in practice every day, it's when you're playing against somebody else, I think it's just another level. You're gonna go 100% all the time. So we'll see. Time will tell.
So, Andrew, one of the things I've noticed on successful teams is everybody knows their role. You threw a pass that led to a buzzer beater. You made a buzzer beater. You stuffed the stat sheet. How would you describe your role on this team?
I think I'm more of like a shooter, and like I get the ball when I'm open, and then I think I pass before I shoot though. Like I pass first, looking for Merritt if he's like got an advantage, like something small on him. But if not, I just kick it back. We just keep kicking it around until we get someone open.
And Merritt, you're just a junior, but where do you want to end up being in a couple of years? Where do you have a goal, a ceiling where you want to end up playing your next level of ball here? D2, D3, D1?
Yeah, I mean, any college basketball is the goal for me, I think. I hope I get that opportunity, and I just got to keep working at it, and hopefully the opportunity arises. Coach
Weiman, maybe Merritt, we talked about his scoring. He's got almost 500 points this season. He's right near the top of Section 5. He's a fourth-year varsity guy. What's his game now, and how has it evolved in the time he's been with you?
you know, he works so hard all year round. It's been awesome to be a part of it. You know, he came up as a freshman, so he was kind of a role player for us that year. And then, you know, his sophomore year last year, he had some good pieces around him where he was still a role player, but we wanted him to get the ball quite a bit too. So he's got a good game inside, and now last year he started being able to really rely on that three. And this year it's been kind of okay. They know you're going to post up. They know you can shoot it from the three. Now can we implement that little mid-range pull up and avoid some charges and keep some teams honest? And he's really done a great job with that, being able to knock down that shot. He's worked on it hard in practice. So yeah, he's his whole game is tough to guard right now. And you know, that's a big reason why he had 41 points. And this guy next to him has been able to, and some of his other teammates have been able to knock down some shots. So they have to respect that. So they can't double or triple team Merritt. You know, he could feed it right back. So they gotta respect some of the other guys that are knocking down shots for us too. So it's helping out Merritt's game, and it's helping out his teammates' game too.
Coach, you didn't get a chance to experience that Section 5 championship as a player. This is your alma mater. What would it mean to you to be part of a championship team here as a coach?
It would mean the world. I was in the stands at the War Memorial or Blue Cross, whatever it was called then, with the chest painted, you know, rooting on my friends. It was awesome to see them do it, and it would be great for these guys to get a chance to experience that, and it would mean the world to me. You know, it's a long season. They work hard. You know, it's 3 months to the day tomorrow, I think, from when the season started, and we don't play for 2 weeks, so you know you're going into that fourth month. And it's, you know, they're working in the summers. These guys play AAU in the spring. So it's, you know, everybody knows it's 3 or 4 months during the winter, but it's all year when they're putting in the time. So it would mean the world to all of us, I think. Yeah.
Well, Steve, anything else? Are we good?
No, I was just going to say that, you know, Jeff and I know that sports are about moments and just kind of celebrating those. And you guys had a great moment to celebrate, a couple great moments last week. And that, you know, just keep grinding, and maybe there'll be even more to celebrate down the road. So thanks for carving out some time for us, and thanks for taking us through this just awesome game.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys having us on. We love the show here, and you guys do a great job highlighting Section 5 basketball and all the awesome players and coaches in it. So thank you guys for all you do.
We appreciate it, guys. And if you're lucky enough, one day some of the guys on the Geneseo team, there's guys from my hometown, which is 2 hours away. One of them is an assistant coach for Fairport, and he was on the team that we beat in triple overtime. Whenever I see him, they were a better team. They were like first place. We were like fourth. Whenever I see him, I always remind him of the triple overtime win. And then he'll say, well, yeah, but we went on to beat Syracuse Nottingham in the Section 5 champion, Section 3 championship that year. I said, okay, fine, but we had the triple overtime win. So,
you got head, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck to you, fellas. Thanks for being on our show.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate having us.
For Steve Bradley and our producer, Joe Broad, I'm Jeff DiVeronica. Thanks for watching us right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.